Let me be frank. The GNU has been difficult, and that is an understatement. We knew that the ANC would play dirty, but the ANC has fallen below even my very low expectations of it. However difficult the GNU is for us, however imperfect what comes out of it, the alternative to what we have now is a coalition of Paul Mashatile, Jacob Zuma, and Julius Malema. That would seal the deal in South Africa's trend towards state failure. It would seal the deal for expropriation without compensation. It would be the end of private healthcare, private education, and the protection of minority rights. It would be the end of any hopes of revival for our economy or credibility on the international stage. It would institutionalize and industrialize corruption as we've never seen it before. I know the DA has come under fire for what are perceived to be defeats on Bella, on the Expropriation Act, and the National Health Insurance Act. This is not an entirely accurate perception. We have gained ground on all three, which I will come to later. But it is important to note that all three of these laws were essentially done deals before the GNU was negotiated. They had already been passed in the 6th Parliament, and all they needed was the President's signature. Obviously, that limited our leverage severely. The ANC did not need our votes to pass any of them. The President only had to sign them. The first time that the ANC actually needed our votes in Parliament was to pass the current budget. They thought we would cave if the clock ran out. That's what the ANC does. It runs down the clock and then puts on the pressure at the last minute. But we point blank refused to accept a 2% increase in VAT as the basis of their expansionary budget. And so it collapsed. Enoch Godongwana has been on record saying that the finance minister does not negotiate the budget. We disagree. In a coalition, the budget is the most important thing you negotiate. Politics, after all, is defined by how government prioritizes the spending of public money. Ashor Sarupin, our doughty Deputy Minister of Finance, has been leading the charge for us. And by tomorrow, we will know how much ground he has been able to win. We will also know whether we will vote for that budget or against it. Ashor is rightfully very wary of sharing information about the negotiations at this stage because of their extreme market sensitivity. All I can tell you today for sure is that it will go right down to the wire. We can also tell you that South Africa does not have a revenue problem. We have a spending problem. Billions are wasted every year on corruption, bloated bureaucracies, and inefficient programs. And there is little accountability for waste. And the ANC can be sure, unless there are clear and concrete plans to fundamentally change this trajectory of waste and corruption, we will stand our ground.
What I can oversay is that the Democratic Alliance will not be supporting the budget in its current form, and therefore the budget being tabled today does not have a parliamentary majority. We obviously put on the table a number of our requirements to stimulate growth and jobs and to move beyond just tax and spend, and those have not been acceded to. We obviously remain open to further discussions before these budget instruments are voted on in Parliament in the coming months. But as the budget sits today, we are not able to support it in its current form.
But it will be tabled.
I've no doubt it will be tabled, but tabling a budget that doesn't have a majority, I don't know what the consequences of that are, but these are consequences that the Finance Minister and others will have to bear.